This is when Mike ruins the intro.
Welcome to the podcast this
Oh.
week. Yeah,
We're on?
Hey, it's Mitch and Mike, and it's Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey. And today's guest on Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey is Mitch.
It's
How
me.
about that? It's Mitch. Yeah,
It's
we've been
me.
wanting to do this for a while, but we have been so chock full of great, amazing guests that this is really the first time in our schedule where we had a free recording day. And but we wanted to I wanted to talk to Mitch about his experiences at VO Atlanta back in when was that? March? That was March.
Sometime in March or
like a
something.
month and a half ago.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
But
Man.
yeah, so first of all, Mitch, how have you been? How you doing?
Yeah. What a strange question to ask on this podcast.
How are
How have I been? Things are moving forward. Today I went to lunch with someone who might be getting into voiceover because I recognized there's sort of, I don't know, there's something about him. And I asked him if he was into voiceover. He's like, I've been thinking about that for a long time. I'm like, well, that's cool. Let's talk.
Hey,
and
Mentor
we had a
Mitch.
nice chat, and hopefully, Edward, if you're listening, hopefully you're doing research right now.
Edward,
But
join us
yeah.
on the dark side.
yeah,
Something dark side.
Yeah, so
No,
that was
that's
super
great.
cool. The auditions are rolling in.
All right.
This is a busy time of year. I don't know about you, Mike, what you're seeing coming down the pipeline.
I mean there was like a little ebb in the agent submissions or and suddenly it's got a little uptick. So I did one.
Yeah.
I did a pretty big one last night. And then I got another one that came in today that I'm going to be looking at and hopefully doing after we record this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast, but I ditched the online casters that I had last year.
Yeah.
Kind of went a couple of months without joining another one just because of vacations and circumstances and stuff, and finally got onto Voices 1, 2, 3 last
How
week.
you liking it?
Or 2 weeks ago. It's okay. I mean, it's been slow, I think, this week, but initially bunch of dropped.
Mondays
I
are
got
slow.
a like, and so that's cool. But nothing come out of it yet, and the volume isn't really there. But I'm also not at like the select level. I'm at the entry level.
Okay.
Not the free level, but the lower tier pay
I see.
level. So I'm at the 50%, I guess. I don't know. So
they come in at a weird time for you, probably.
some of them come in middle of the night, and I'll wake up and I'll get like 3 emails that oh look, and then by the but they posted at 11 o'clock last night. By the time I get to them, they're 65 out of 50 spots have already gone. So, I mean, I've heard that even if it is over the limit that they set, that it's still good to go ahead and submit. But
Yeah, I haven't had any issue personally, but
yeah,
it does. You get those late, you're like, oh man.
yeah,
And you have an hour sometimes to get them through. It's a little nerve-wracking.
yeah. But I also watched, because there's some folks out there called the V123 Pros.
Oh, yeah.
Natasha, and I can't remember what the other person's name is, but she did a webinar. Natasha did a webinar for GVAA, and that posted literally about a week before I bought into V123. So I'm like, oh, good. Fresh content to know what to do and what not to do, and is this really the right thing for me? So that was good information. And I actually talked to someone at V123 earlier late last week.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was a good little deal, and I feel like I just need to find the things that are good for me, because it keeps sending me stuff that's like Portuguese accent.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am not the Portuguese.
It's so random sometimes.
I'm not the Portuguese.
It's so close, though, Mike.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so things are rolling in, and now obviously, I mean, we're having fun with the audio dramas through Shoestring
Oh, yeah.
TV.
Whew.
Hey, let me just.
Those are great.
We've
I'm gonna
interviewed
go to
a bunch of people from our group, the Shoestring TV family. I mean, Jim Frank is part of it. Larry Oblander now is in it. Terry Briscoe is a big part of it.
Mike.
Obviously, we had Jason Beard on
Jason.
6 months ago or so, and he's the catalyst, the writer of all of the great audio dramas at Shoestring TV. And
Yes,
so
sir.
if you're not listening to Leo Braun, if you're not listening to Magnetar, which just started coming out, that's weird and wild and funny. And coming up pretty doggone soon, the
Topaz
Leo
and
Braun spin-off, Topaz and Stillman, which is an 80s comedy romp.
Hello.
And features yours truly pretty significantly.
And
that's
it's
coming,
the most
so
hilarious.
it will be fun.
I don't think I've laughed more in any of these than listening to you play a character that no one's allowed to know about yet.
Yes, just wait.
a little
You won't even know it's me.
Plays an Italian man, which is
Yeah.
just cannot believe how funny that can be. Watching you go through that. Oh
Yeah,
my
so again,
gosh.
Shoestring TV. You can find it on Spotify. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
About to get my
Patreon.
email address out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But you can find them on Spotify by Leo Braun or Magnetar, or pretty soon Topaz and Stillman. You might even be able to find them just by searching Shoestring TV.
Yeah.
But you can also go to the website and find all the links as well. So
Yeah, the Patreon, you can actually
And the
get some
Patreon.
insider
yeah, join the
scoops and
Patreon. It's only
I
like
don't think
$5 a
it's
month.
Yeah, it's so affordable, you
Cheap
guys.
and support us.
Listen.
Yeah.
And you get to listen to so much stuff.
So
It's
fun.
never ending.
Yes.
Jason's writing, I don't know, he has extra hours in
He
his day
is
to write.
what we call a prolific writer.
Yes, for sure. Some of that stuff, did some table reads. Oh, doggy.
Yeah.
Man,
We
you
have,
guys are in for a
we have
treat.
a lot of fun.
And this isn't a podcast just to promote Leo Braun. And
No.
You might think that, you guys. But it pretty much, it's becoming the Leo Braun /
we enjoy
Shoestring
ourselves
TV.
with it, and hopefully, if y'all give it a listen, you're gonna sink your teeth into it and
Yeah.
enjoy it as well. So it's good for when you're driving to work. It's good for anytime you want to spend 45 minutes listening to a great horror audio
eerie.
audio drama podcast or comedy audio drama podcast. It's good stuff.
Mike,
Yes.
one more thing to tell you before we get into the nitty-gritty.
Uno mas.
I had my first in-studio callback last week at
What?
Ozone Music and Sound in Southfield, Michigan. These guys are awesome.
That's amazing.
Marty and Chris.
I remember you talking about that coming up.
Yeah, so it
And-
happened. I can't talk about what I
Of
did
course
in there,
not. Yes.
but I can tell you that
Non-disclosure agreements being what they are.
I can tell you that I did a lot of different stuff. So it was a lot of different like they shot some audiobook stuff at me. They shot some commercial character work, all different types of stuff they shot at me.
Wow.
And we ran through it. It was an exact hour that I was in that studio. We got it all done right on time. And then I pop out of the booth, and Marty, my sound engineer for the day, gave me kudos. He said, "Great job." He said, "I normally see people do one thing at a time, be
Yeah.
it dubbing or whatever. You did it all." And I'd like to use you later.
Wow.
I'm not going to hold him to that word, Marty. I'm not holding you to that. But it just felt, in that moment, it felt like feedback from someone who didn't need to get. Yeah.
Does so
Oh
much
my
for
gosh. And it was just such a, man, I love acting. It was
Yeah.
such a blast. It was a little nerve-wracking because they're like, okay, now you're a heartfelt dad and a such and such. Okay, get my mind into that. Okay, now it's a old Western book you're reading, and you can do the accents. I'm like, okay, switcheroo. Yeah, it was
Cool.
It was very
I wish I
interesting.
lived in Detroit so I could go along with you with these folks. That sounds like a blast.
I know, right? For anyone listening, or Mike, you might be listening to me right now. I think it's good to get a hold of your local audio studio, even the small guys, just to kind of like see what's coming down the pipeline, show them your stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of locals sometimes just want people to be able to come in. Oh, and he said there's radio personalities, there's other guys, and there's voice actors, and you're a voice actor. And I'm like,
nice.
Oh, I just melted the whole time.
I've always wanted to hear that.
I know.
Thank you.
So all that serotonin dumped the next day. What a depressing next day. But yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Speaking of serotonin, there was another great time of my life.
And when was that, Mitch?
VO Atlanta.
VO Atlanta. Yeah, so this was your first voiceover conference, right? Yeah.
See.
So I know early on in our podcast life, we talked about One Voice. I actually did a recording of the podcast at One Voice without Mitch. We had our pal Gunnar Reddy,
Oh, yeah.
who I roomed with at the thing. And so we set up in the hotel room and recorded one. But Mitch wasn't able to make that. Well, this time around, Mitch was able to make VO Atlanta, and I was not because I was cruising the Mediterranean. So I had a good excuse. But wanted to hear your take on your first experience with a voiceover conference. So what was getting there, getting to the thing, going to the registration desk? What was going through your mind at that point?
What was going through my mind? So before the registration desk, the day before, Derek was my roommate. Derek States, who you may have listened to in a previous...
one of our interviewees.
Yes, indeed. And he's also a listener. He's a friend of mine.
He's one of our loyal listeners. So Derek, shout out to you, my boy.
Shout out Derek States. Yeah, Derek's awesome. And he booked this room a long time ago. Anyway, we get there, we hang out, we come and we meet a couple people before the thing, which is great. Before registration even happens, we're just hanging out. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little on edge. And I'm generally pretty solid at these things, but I don't know who to talk to. There's so many groups. I'm already seeing people I recognize from the internet, right? I'm not going to name a ton of names, but they're all there. Pretty much. Yeah. Some people we've had on this podcast, Kristen being one. I was even too scared to talk to her for some reason, but she was probably in a sea of people. But so registration line, immediately people start, talking. I meet somebody behind me starts talking to me like you were talking about in One Voice. Mm-hmm. It just becomes this sort of beating heart of people just being the most open.
It's just an amoeba of friendly folks in the industry.
Yeah.
Just morphing and growing and stretching and going to different places. And
have you met this person? Have you met this person?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know this person. I'm, seeing somebody from over here, somebody from GVAA. I really want to name names, but again, there's too many people to name.
Yeah.
Except I'll name Derek States. Anyway.
Hard not to. He probably saw you in your skivvies.
I tried not to. No, he probably did. But Derek, don't tell anybody what you saw.
What happens in Atlanta hotel rooms stays in Atlanta hotel rooms.
He's a fit guy for anyone out there listening. Yeah. Okay, where were we? That's what's running through my head. Nerves mostly.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? What am I even doing here? Am I supposed to be here? How much should I talk to one person before I move on to that? Like, I don't know. It wasn't as organic of a situation as I hoped for at first.
Was it overwhelming, or was it just you felt out of place?
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed by big groups. I love talking to a small group. Mm-hmm. I love it. I'm at home, as you might say, in pocket when I'm talking to small groups. So when there's a giant sea of people, I want to talk to everybody at once, and I want to talk to nobody and go back to my room at the same time. There's a lot of mixed messages in my brain.
I get that.
But immediately. Great news. Next question. I don't know where I'm headed with this ramble. Okay.
All right, so you get there, you checked in, you got a whole, a 4-day conference ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
You got workshops and different events and things. What was your favorite thing? What was the favorite workshop or class or whatever you went to, and who taught it?
Mm-hmm.
And why was it your favorite?
Opening day, there was the keynote speaker who I had never heard of, Glenn Morshower. I almost missed it. I think I wanted to get coffee. I was like, I don't know this guy. I don't even know if I need to go to this.
Glenn Morshower.
What's
he look like?
He is a guy.
Is he
probably.
older?
Yep, he's older. He's in 24. He's in every show you could ever think
guy.
of.
Okay. I was wondering if he was the guy from 24. I loved him in 24. Shoot.
You would love him in everything.
Yeah.
I wish he ever listened to this podcast, but this guy was the best public speaker I've ever gone and seen. He's like the Tony Robbins of actors, okay?
Wow. Okay.
This guy was like he was riffing, he's telling these awesome stories that just make you want to put, for anyone who knows what I'm talking about, put bologna in your butt cheeks. He told this whole story about auditioning and just like having a secret. So he put syrup in his shoes, and he went to the audition with syrup in his shoes. And that was that was the start of a 13-long audition and booking streak that he had.
Wow.
Where he auditioned and booked 13 in a row.
Just kept putting syrup in his shoes?
Or marshmallows between his toes, or bologna between his butt cheeks. Like, he's just the story master. So that's kicked off the whole weekend. This guy was amazing, and I was scared not to talk to him too, because that's just who I am. But like, what am I going to say to this guy? Like, you're so cool and smart, and I appreciate you.
I loved 24. I would have gone right up to him and said, he was great. He was great.
You're more
he was
cavalier than me, Mike.
Yeah, I am. I know.
It's good. It's that would have got you a handshake at least. I didn't know him from anything except for that, and that's enough fame for me. He's the shit. And then I went to some more feely sessions. So,
in what way?
One was like how to get your confidence.
Okay.
And the actual keynote speaker, whose name is slipping my mind right now, he was on that panel, and some people are like, just have the confidence, and the main guy is like, well, I kind of just don't. I barely have confidence now, but I'm getting through it. And then it was really nice to hear both sides.
Huh?
Yeah, because Glenn is confidence city. He just follows every whim, and he's gotten to where he's gotten. And then this other guy's like, I've been pissing my pants the whole time, pretty much. That's what it felt like anyway between the two. And then I went to a Dave Walsh workshop, and maybe you've heard of Dave Walsh, but they say if you're listening, if you don't cry in a session, you have no heart or something like that. But yeah, a little bit of, he started getting people to open up about things, and we went through this whole worksheet, which, most of the things didn't have worksheets to work on, so that was cool to have like something tangible to take home or look at while you're doing the whole thing. And people got vulnerable in the class, and man. So I hope to work with Dave Walsh, but what I learned most from that experience of going to those classes mostly was we're all going through this similar, this person next to me also doesn't want to talk. I talk because I want to do something scary. Somebody recently told me, do things that scare you, it's worth it. So, okay, I'll speak up in class. That's terrifying. So I'll ask questions. But there were so many little tidbits of information that are hard to hold on when there's so much going on. You have an hour to go to class. You have 10 minutes in between each. You're running each one. You're talking to everybody. I don't know if you noticed this in One Voice. Was it like that? Did they have sessions like that?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, the way One Voice was set up is you had your sessions that were included, and those were usually like 50 minutes long, 45 minutes long. And they were micro sessions of, Scott Parkin did an improv session. We had panels, an animation panel and a couple other things. And that's where I shot my shot at, Kristen and others as the animation panel. But most of the time it was, okay, this particular, there was an automotive, something that was specific to automotive ads by a guy named Troy Holden, who's actually a Texan. And I'm trying to remember, off the top of my head, I can't remember other ones, but I mean, it was like, you had probably 6 hours, like scheduled times during the day to do these things, and you could do them or you didn't have to,
Right.
but you wanted to maximize, and so you tried to go to all of them. And then they also had like the bigger maybe agency based. I know like AB Squared had one, and it was like a 3-hour session, and you had to drop an extra like $200 to join it. And so I knew some people who did that, but a lot of people were like me who just, we paid to get into the convention, and that was enough cheddar to drop to make you feel like, oh my gosh, I paid so much money. And and so and I got enough out of it doing just the regular session. So I don't know. I'm assuming they had the same type setup at VO Atlanta, where you had your things that came with the conference, and you also had your extra buckets that you could purchase if you wanted to get longer and more focused sessions one-on-one time with agencies and stuff.
They're called X Sessions at VO Atlanta. So J. Michael Collins and his wife. Yeah, I think he runs both. I could be wrong.
He's involved in both.
I'm still getting a grasp on who runs what and what, why and what. It's just so a lot. And J. Michael Collins and his wife, whose name, I didn't meet her either, so sure, that slips my mind. But they're such big personalities, and it makes sense that they would want to do that. It's, it seems in their nature, which I appreciate, because I'm not, Mike Cunningham, I don't know how the heck he's doing his, but I'm not going to run one of those dang things. But there's so many little extra things, and so I didn't feel like paying for an X session, and I think I should have got one at least. They're 3-hour intensives with, some of the top names, some of the best people out there.
Yeah.
I think that would have been really cool, but I did get some extra little tidbits on the side.
All right.
So there are parties every night.
Yeah.
Different types of parties, and I found out, Derek told me that he told me that was good because he went to the first one. Edge Studio through SiriusXM was doing almost like a basement speakeasy type table read where everyone's upstairs partying. You sneak down below ground. Well, maybe not, but on the lowest level of the Hilton, and you act, and those directors and Bradford Hastings will direct you down there in the basement. It was such a blast, and we were with all these really talented people who just wanted to act. We miss acting. We're just gonna do it for the fun of it down here.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was super sweet. And then in the middle of the whole thing, almost immediately on Friday, many of us signed up for this thing where we had to make a commercial for a nonprofit. Did you hear anything about this? Have you heard anything about it?
Was that the group project?
The group project.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. Why don't you tell our listeners what it's all about and what happened?
My dad
was there?
ran
Your father?
My father, Dan Friedlander. Wait, Friedlander, somebody else. I forget everybody's name. His name's Dan, and I'm sorry, Dan. But
I feel like Friedlander's right. The Nava guy?
No, that's Tim.
Tim Friedlander, he's a Nava guy.
Dan. Well, we'll put in the comments. I don't know what we're
Dan
gonna
the
do.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy, he's not just a guy. He's up there too. He set this whole thing up with this company, Freedom Foundation. God dang, I should have had notes.
Where's
before
your notes, man? No,
I should have had notes.
It's off the cuff, and it's real.
It's not. Oh man,
if you were reading off of notes, this would sound so.
I know,
stupid.
At least knowing what the foundation was.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
this
it was all about me. It wasn't about them. So he paired us off into 9 groups of 5 or 6 people, and he handed us a thumb drive. So we had pretty much never met any of these people before. And he hands us a thumb drive with all of the information. We have to write a script. He has, the information of what they're sort of looking for in a 30-second commercial.
Mm-hmm.
We have to write a script. We have to put music behind it. We have to edit, and we have to have at least 3 voices, 3 of our group members in it. So it's like, boom, go.
And how long did you have to do it?
You have 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
28, something like that. You're sleeping during some of it.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And I didn't think we were going to, because when we first started, it was like, we're having trouble even meeting up. But our group finally, like, we found a corner, and this person's like, I know how to write, and this person's like, I know how to do audio editing, and I'm like, I think I can be a leader. And then and that's the best.
I think I can tell you that you need to do this and you need to do that.
Just keep things sort of in order. What are we doing next, sort of thing.
Everybody needs that.
I guess so. And then, we had everybody on our team. I don't know if he put this together on purpose, but we all had our niche. And we all took a ball and we did our thing. And we came back and put together a cohesive, in somebody's hotel room, we put together a cohesive, beautiful commercial with a bunch of talented people under one of those trolleys that has the luggage on it. We threw a blanket over that, and we, our audio engineer, he decided not to tell us that he was like sandbagging us. He's like, if you got the gear, no problem. Go get your gear and we'll get it. We get his gear. He's got, the Sennheiser 416 or whatever. He's got one of those keyboards that doesn't even connect in the middle, so he looks like Neo or anyone in the Matrix. His audio engineering skills is like the best I may have ever seen in person until recently. It was like, okay, you're the guy next time.
Wow.
But Jim Frank's team won.
I saw that.
Long story short. And yes, that makes sense. They did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
But so what I got from that was I love collaboration. So this was a learning experience in the sense that I knew I loved this.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like fueled a fire for me that I know I want to be a creator now. I love putting together teams. I love getting everybody in motion, greasing the wheels, getting some imagination on the table, and like making shit happen. And that was probably one of the best things that happened, other than meeting like people from my accountability group who we've had all on the podcast now.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. That was amazing. Just meeting people I knew and loved. Those were like key moments. Yeah. For sure. Any more questions, please? I'm going to ramble some more if you don't.
No, it's good that you're rambling. I like the real stories. I mean, that's great. I mean, I'm excited for you. I know you've mentioned it between then and now about the whole your creative juices are flowing and you want to be more of a creator now, and that's amazing. And you got me in your corner, and also as a collaborator if you want to.
We're doing it now.
I mean, yeah, this is part of creativity. I mean, we buckled down and said, hey, let's do a podcast. And here we are. It's almost a year later, man. This is crazy.
I mean, we could riff on some of the ideas I have, but like, I got some weird ass ideas for this podcast that, it might just get, let's see.
Well, we'll talk about that. But if sure, drop it now. What's one of your weird ideas?
I'll just drop a couple of funny weird ones, and maybe people go, hey, it actually stuck. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Easter eggs.
We might get a website.
What?
Oh.
Hey, like an actual real website and not just Buzzsprout.
That's right.
Cool.
We might get some A-lister guests, some of the top-tier people that don't even have LinkedIns. I mean, we've had some
that's
really
not
top-tier...
That's a great goal.
We've already had great guests, amazing guests, but I was thinking like people I don't even imagine talking to. I'm just going to try.
Yeah.
Like name an actor that you don't think you could talk to.
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
See?
I don't know why. I just went to
Matthew
SpongeBob.
McConaughey. I have no idea. Yeah.
I'm thinking about people who have actually done voice stuff. So Clancy Brown is he was. I mean, everybody knows Clancy. He was the tough guard in Shawshank Redemption, but he also is Mr. Krabs from Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
That's Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting Clancy Brown would be a Glenn Morshower would be amazing. Anyway, so that's
Eric
on the list.
Bauza, the Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny would be the shit. Porky Pig would be the shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other famous names, but
anyway, guys think listeners think of famous people you want to see on the show, and we'll never do that.
Mitch is going to reach out to them and bug them until they get on the show.
I'm going to have my most famous friends reach out to those people to get them on the show.
I would love to make Clancy Brown do ChatGPT roulette.
I'm sure it would be as devastating as doing it with Scott Parkin, who is like the king of improv, and just
so let's just go. Let's do it. We don't need to read through it first.
No, he nailed us. He nailed us good. It was awesome.
He just riffed so hard.
He killed it.
He riffed so hard, and then we're like, read the line.
Yeah. Do I know how to read?
Yeah.
But one of my favorites here is number 60 on my list, VO Scholarship for Noobs, giveaways like Mike's coaching and etc. I feel like if we get enough involvement with the listeners out there, if we get enough people wanting certain things from us, and that's just a little taste of stuff I'm thinking about because I love doing this. Interviewing me is weird, you guys, by the way. I came in nervous. I was telling Mike, I'm like, I can't imagine talking anymore because our guests have so much cool stuff to say. You've heard from me. You've heard my jam.
I got a few more questions for you. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like that. I love that. I mean, I for those of you, I mean, we're not monetized right now. We're a small time podcast. We're gaining a little bit of a following, but not anything, super out there. But it would be amazing if we could get to the point where we can give back. I don't think we're ever going to do this for our own gain other than our edification, just the enjoyment that we're getting now. But it would be cool. It would be amazingly cool if we could get to the point where the podcast is maybe making a little money that we can then turn around and push back to the community in the way of giveaways, in the way of scholarships. That's an awesome thought, and I hope we get there. I really do.
I may have stolen that from...
Well, the Microphone
TMI
Insider kind of does that. So it's not something that's never been done.
No. Yeah.
But it's a good idea that can carry over to our little podcast.
Yeah, great idea, you guys out there.
Yeah. So Jim, Terry, Mike, good job out there. We're going to steal everything we can from you. I'm going to start doing recipes like Terry.
Yeah. They have one more host whose name I don't remember because she hasn't been on.
Oh, yeah. Rebecca Lee? I think it's Rebecca
Sounds
Lee.
about right.
I think the last name's Lee.
But the names, okay?
Yeah,
you out
I
there,
can't remember my own name half the time. So.
Yeah, despite knowing your name or not, we love and appreciate you.
All right, so anyway, back to VO Atlantis. So you're there, you're doing all these great things. You do this amazing project with these folks, and we're coming to an end, right? You've had a great time. You've made a lot of contacts, I'm assuming. As you're like finishing up, as you're like, you said that you came away from it wanting to be more creative. But was there like an overarching lesson that you learned? Something you came away and you're like, okay, I went in there thinking this, but now I have learned this.
Ooh. That's a good one. There's man, just give me a second. Yeah. Please play the music.
Yeah, this is good. This is good podcast right here.
I'm sorry. Asked me a really tough question. Okay, I'm gonna riff and tell you the first. I'm gonna tell you the first one because one of them, it doesn't sound ultra positive, but it is in a sense. We're all just spinning around here, scratching away
Mm-hmm.
to make our living. So whether that's selling your voiceover coaching to somebody, whether that's selling your ability to market to somebody who's within our field, whether that's hoping to meet someone at VO Atlanta that you think could further your career, or just making buddies there, hoping that's going to like change the course of your career as well. All of that, however you want to play it, is just, we're all doing it a different way.
Okay.
And it's, none of it's wrong. Some people don't think, like, say, doing voices, maybe voices is a bad way to make VO money. I think it put me on a level playing field with even the best actors, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I have just as much of a chance, and the person just starting has just as much of a chance of doing well at this, as long as we're just doing it maybe with passion and in the right way, and figuring out what I do best. And that thing I've been telling you lately, Mike, what's your minor? I've been talking about, like, what, you know, what is somebody minoring in? I think it came from that, because I notice everyone, like, oh, well, that's an amazing voice coach. This person knows this. This person's an audio engineer and a voice actor. Everyone has this, like, little extra side thing that gives them the edge, and that kind of puts you over the top if you have that.
Well, that's one of the reasons we started the podcast.
Right.
Is to have that extra thing to hang our hats on, and to have something to present to the industry, to hopefully, I mean, selfishly, to get noticed.
Yep.
But also to just continue to add something to the industry, to have something to put out there. Some other content other than auditions that may or may not ever be heard.
Yeah. And then playing off of that, no one's going to hand it to you. This thing that we're doing, no one's going to come to you and go, here's everything you wanted from the industry.
As much as we would love that, those dreams of...
Everyone's fighting. We're not getting paid for some of the work we do, because we are riding a ship that we think is going either someplace beautiful or someplace beautiful and that has some money attached to it.
Yeah.
Either one's great, but it's the tenacity, and we've heard that from all of our guests. I don't know why I need to be reminded of it. All of the stuff I learned there, I was just reminded of. And some of the more little darker things, like some people are just skeezy, or some people aren't that cool.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes me, I found out. I learned that kind of quick. Not everyone's like charmed by me right away. That's how fucked up is that?
Oh, well, we love you here, Mitch.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I think it was all more like life lessons that I'm learning every 3 years or something silly like that. But when it comes to VO, like, I've been told this stuff. I just need it to sink in again and again and again. How to act, how to look at a script. We've heard almost all of it, right? I mean, not all of it, but
it's just, a lot of the same message gets pumped out by different people, and you know, just again, like you said, I mean, putting in the work and just everything that goes along, you know, how to overcome imposter syndrome, and you know, just having confidence, and confidence is a big thing, and being yourself, and all the things that we know, but forget. And that's life. I mean, we do that whether it's at a desk job or working at a home improvement center or whatever. Everyone goes through that, where it's like, you know, I need to be reminded that there's value in what I do, and you know, whether it's a hobby, whether it's you know, an extracurricular activity, or family, or anything. You know, I mean, I've go through that as a dad, right? There's times where I'm like, I am the worst dad in the world, and I just really messed that up. But you know, I know on the whole, my kids appreciate me. And I know that, I've messed up sometimes, but on the whole, they know who I am, and they know that I'm in their corner and all that. It is, but it's so rewarding. But
okay.
you know, taking that and equating it to VO, it's like there is it's more of an intrinsic, an internal thing, finding that worth and knowing that, hey, I do have something to offer. I do, but we can get beat down with, I'm not getting the auditions, or I'm not booking the jobs, or nothing's coming my way, or I screwed that audition up and I feel horrible, or I was in the booth for 2 hours and I never got it right and just stormed out, punched a wall, and went to the ER.
I hope that never happened.
I hope not either. But there are those days where you just feel like it. But yeah, so we all need to be reminded of that from time to time, no matter what walk of life. But specifically for this job, for this industry, it can beat you down pretty quickly, and some of that has to do with just being alone with yourself in the booth.
Oddly enough, I mean, I know that, and they put prisoners in solitary confinement, and we do it on purpose to ourselves.
Yeah.
But I rode that high of all that information I got, all that confidence I got. I rode that high until today.
Ooh.
And I finally got an audition where I was like, I can't do it.
Oh.
And I left. I don't know what it was about today. I had great sleep, but yeah. So a month and a half long high or whatever of like confidence. And I know today is just a fluke, or that script just wasn't appealing to me, or whatever it was. No big deal. But
that's why it needed to be today, because now we get to record the podcast, and I can tell you, Mitch, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, people like you.
I knew you'd be sincere here.
Yeah. No, but all seriousness, I mean, anyone listening to this is like, no, Mitch, you're awesome. And you are. And we just need to be reminded of that sometimes. And sometimes you need a bloke like me to come at you and say, look, in all sincerity, Mitch, you got a lot of talent, and you may have an audition like that from time to time. I think J. Michael Collins has well, maybe not him, but
probably.
Yeah. But
I think everybody does.
We all have that. I mean, Toback was talking about that last week, where sometimes he's just, got that imposter syndrome and struggles with things. I mean, it's common. So, yeah. But you got it. You got something, and that's why you've made it this far. So
thanks, Mikey. We have these texts. People who are friends with me or know me, I'll get down sometimes, and I'll, someone will be texting me like, "Are you okay, bud?" And Mike and I had a conversation like this recently too. It's definitely good to. I mean, now I have a buttload of people I can go to from via Atlanta. Is like, man, this is a embarrassment of riches when it comes to the friend department.
Well, and that was going to be my last question here, Mitch. My last question might sound familiar to you. So, Mitch, out of all the people you met at VO Atlanta, give me a name or two names of people that just really stood out to you, that were like, you didn't know them at all before you got there, you met them, and something clicked where you said, that's someone who's got something going on, and I want to align myself with that person.
Boy, oh boy. I don't know why I wasn't expecting this.
You should have. I stole it from you.
Okay. Well, the first person I met when we got there, she was sitting alone, and she looked up and gave us a smile. Derek and I were kind of, hunting together or whatever, hunting for friends.
Trolling for friends.
We're like, hey, where you guys at? Anyway,
were you doing the Saturday Night Live guys? What is love?
Oh, yeah.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah. But Ashley Bryant was there.
Ashley Bryant.
Yeah. She is on screen as well as VO.
Okay.
She will be on the podcast.
I was going to say that name sounds familiar because I think you've put it into our podcast schedule.
She is a big, bright ball of sunshine and a wonderful person, and it was just like, this is what I expected. So the first person I met was so nice and friendly.
Set the bar way too high, didn't she?
That's pretty much. But then people kept doing it. I mean, it was Hug Central. So that's number one.
Okay.
just because of, it just, every time we saw each other, it was great. She also was part of the group thing, the group
she was
challenge.
in your group?
No, a different group. We were hoping.
Okay.
But yeah, different group. And we battled, and we both came out non-victorious, but it was still
franked.
blessed. We got franked.
Yeah.
Dang you, Frank. And then, gosh, I met so many great people. Mikey.
I wasn't there. And you already knew me.
Yeah, true. I've been having a lot of great conversations. Somebody who has been chatting me up and just giving me some fun back and forth. Jeff Leland was handing out, Leyland or Leland, he might be listening to this. He was handing out ginger tea with like his card on it, or like a sticker on it. And what I didn't realize was that was his card. So I almost like threw that part away and kept the tea. And never contacted him. But yeah, I met him very early too, and yeah, he's just smart and witty and just super fun. So we didn't really jive a lot. I mean, we didn't talk a ton there, but afterward, friendship. And that's the thing. Afterward, all these friendships showed up. All of these, there's even some people whose either cards I lost. So if you're listening, please contact me. Please don't call, because, I might be recording, but definitely email it to, maybe not even text. Just email me, you guys.
Show up at his door, knock on his window.
I've been texting with a friend too, but it's so, yeah, those are the two who come up right now. Anyone I missed, I'm truly sorry. You're all awesome. It was a freaking blast.
At MitchLashinsky.com.
Mitch at MitchLashinsky.com. Yeah. You should be friends with me everywhere. I'm the only Mitch Lashinsky.
You know what, Mitch?
Mike, what's going on?
Getting a little itchy.
Uh-oh.
Something's going on.
Is it all that chest hair?
I need to act.
Oh.
I need to act. See, I'm you this podcast, Mitch.
Yeah,
I'm asking you
along,
who you like and now I'm asking you to act.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. I think it's time.
Okay.
I think it's time.
Okay.
Let's pause here and come back with something just goofy.
Juicy.
Oh, yeah. We got some fun for you now.
Oh, yeah. Try not to laugh.
We're going to play. We're going to have some fun. Are y'all ready?
What do we have?
Most importantly, are you Are you Medi Rich?
Medi Rich. I am Medi Rich. Are you
Rich
Medi Mike?
All right.
That worked, actually.
Interior. Tickle Dome Arena. Nighttime. Crowd buzzing. Camera pans over the two shirtless competitors, barefoot in a padded ring. A giant digital scoreboard reads, "First one to laugh loses." Round 3.
And welcome back to the Tickle Throwdown. I'm Rick Devers alongside my partner in tickle analysis, Jerry the Giggle Dr. Malloy. Yeah. We are deep into round 3, and neither of these men has cracked yet.
Oh, man, that's right, Rick. You got Dalton Steel Belly Reyes, a man who allegedly didn't laugh once during his own wedding toast, man.
That's right.
Versus Tyler the Ribs McGee, guy whose ticklishness has cost him dates. That guy's lonely. This is a battle of willpower and sensitive nerve endings. And maybe
there it
a
is.
Little belly button lint.
Oh, boy, look at that. Reyes goes in with a classic double-handed spider crawl. What am I calling it? That's it. Right under McGee's armpits.
Ah, that's dangerous territory, Rick. Those armpits are the Bermuda, that place, the Bermuda Triangle.
That's right.
Tickle zones. You get in there, and it's hard to get out. Reyes finds a rhythm there. It could be game over, man.
Oh, McGee's twitching, but no sound. The man is clenching his jaw like a bouncer at a daycare. Pure focus.
You can tell he's practiced hard for this event. I've heard, he meditates in a pile of feathers. Just super light and airy and no sound whatsoever. No distractions, no mercy.
That's right. Wait. Reyes switches tactics. He's going for the feet. Jerry, he's unlancing the ankle straps. He's going barefoot.
Oh, that's legal, Rick. That's legal. He can do that. But that makes it personal. You go for the feet and you're saying, I want the soul.
Aye.
No one walks away the same man. You're changed forever.
He's got McGee's toes. Oh, there's a flinch. Did you hear that?
Oh, he was close, but no audible laugh. Wait, hold on. Okay, replay that.
What's that?
All right, listen closely.
Was that a snort?
Snort detected, Rick. Snort detected. It's there. He snorted. I'm checking with the judges right now. Okay?
Oh.
Yes. The ref calls it. Tyler McGee snorted. He broke. Game over. Match over. It's done.
It's over. Dalton Reyes takes it. The crowd is on their feet and laughing for him.
Oh, wow, Rick. That's what tickle endurance is all about. You don't win by being funny. You win by not finding anything funny at all.
That's right.
That's irony.
Oh, boy, we'll be back after the break with post-match interviews and the women's semifinal. But for now, Dalton Reyes, your new Sultan of Silence.
Yeah, baby.
I think it's women's,
right.
but, those two words are similar. That was a blast.
That was fun. I
could call that. I love a good tickle.
Yeah?
How about you,
I'll
Mike?
have to keep that in mind next time I'm in Detroit.
Okay, yeah, we'll have Nicole call it, or
Hey, and then we'll do this for real. I don't know if I want to be shirtless around you, Mitch. I'd be a little scared and intimidated.
Shirts on, tickle battle.
Okay, I can handle that then.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, Mitch, it sure was a good time interviewing you.
Wow, thank you.
You're finally
for having me on your pod.
Yeah, you interviewed me months and months ago about One Voice, and so and then we had all these stupid guests on and popular
they're so
people
pumped
and
about that.
all of that, and finally good to get to talk to you and find out more about Mitch and his experiences.
Mm-hmm. It is our journey. It's no one else's journey.
That's true. People keep intruding on that. That's okay. We like them. We'll let them in.
Yeah, right.
Hey, great talking to you, Mitch. Great finding out all that stuff about VO Atlanta. Hey, if you're a voice actor out there and you want to get to know a bunch of people in the industry and connect with people, there's some really good conferences out there. I mean, we got One Voice coming up again this August in Dallas. You got VO Atlanta. You got Mike Cunningham's thing that I can't remember the name of. But
Get out of your booth.
Get out of your booth. That's right. That's coming up here in a few months up there in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
So many things on the West Coast and all of this. Just Google voiceover convention and there's some good ones out there. So it's well worth your time and a little bit of cash if you got it.
A little bit of quiche.
To get around some folks who are of like mind and doing the same thing and struggling the same way, and you get a lot of encouragement. So
It's great.
all right, man. Well, good talking to you.
Thanks, buddy.
And you have a great week, except I'll probably talk to you again tomorrow because, we do that. So
Oh, yeah, we talk.
yeah.
Bye.
It's not just here for you guys. Okay, awkward goodbyes.
Okay, saying bye?
Hey,
I guess we're saying bye.
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 Mm.